Today's session is to throw more light on the goals of the hackathon, to present you or to introduce you to the mentors, expected deliverables, the timelines, and then you would have the floor to ask any question whatsoever regarding the hackathon. So without much ado, I would introduce you to Professor Isaac Yafe. He's a project lead on this hackathon, and he will have a word for us.
Hello, good it's morning, everyone, and welcome to this session. As you will be aware, this is not the first time we are having this form of program. We did it last year. Last year's program was very successful, and the good news is that this year we are doing it again. We are actually being funded mainly by MTN. So what it means is that this year's program, you will even be having mentors from MTN. They will be willing to help you do the things that you would love to do. I wouldn't want to waste much time. I'll hand over to Dr. Akon so that she will take you through the necessary things that you need to know. Thank you all and welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Prof. Yafe. So, I don't know if we have Mr. Kwame on this call. Does not seem so. Okay. So we'll move on to introducing you to your mentors. We have 6 main mentorship categories. The first, the numbering does not take any precedence, but the first on the list is computer vision and agentic AI. And for this session, we'll be covering objects or obstacle detection, vision system, agentic automation. And this category is led by Professor Justice Apati. Professor Apati, please, are you on the call?
I am on the call.
Okay, thank you very much. So please, I'll give you the floor to introduce yourself and then maybe a word or two for the teams.
Okay, so once again, good morning to everyone. As mentioned, I'm Justice, and I am the Department of Computer Science. And I'll be taking you through, I have a mentor, and I'll take you through CV, as well as agentic AI, what it's all about, and what you need to know about it. So let's stay tuned and meet when the time is due to discuss more into it. Thanks for having you.
Thank you very much, Professor Patsy. The next is AI and language technologies, and that would cover automatic speech recognition, text-to-speech systems, natural language processing, machine learning, AI, large language models, and conversational AI. We have 2 mentors for that category. Mr. Evans, are you on the call? Mr. Evans? Okay, do we have Ms. Akosia on this call?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you very much. Please go ahead and introduce yourself and then a word or two for the teams.
Yes, so I'm Akusha Nyakwan, then as was rightly said, my colleague and I will be taking all teams through the AI and language technologies aspects of the hackathon. As you can also see on the slides, we'll be covering so many other concepts with regards to that. So automatic speech recognition down to text-to-speech systems, will be discussing that. So we are hoping to meet all of us and have a fruitful discussion when the time is due as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wiafe. Do we now have Evans? Okay, then we move on to the user experience and user interface category. In that category, we have two mentors as well, Mr. Praise Olutuase and Dr. Sarah Njani. Please, do we have any of them on the call? Mr. Olutuase, please, are you there?
Praise here.
Ol-
Is
Okay.
Dr. Sarah here as well? I think she is.
Okay, so please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, I'll do that. Is Dr. Sarah, are you there? Okay, I can go ahead. Hi everyone, my name is Praise Olutuase, and myself and Dr. Sarah will be mentoring on user-centered design, user journeys, wireframes, usability, and just sort of helping you think through how best you put the user at the center of what you're designing or building to ensure that it is contextual, it's something that is usable, and it's something that meets the needs of the users. So when we do have the follow-up sessions where we would go into this in detail, there'll be opportunities to ask questions and sort of see how you can practically implement these as you build the solutions that you're trying to build. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Njani. Jani, sorry. Okay. I think Evans is now on the call. Evans.
I'm here now, Doc.
Okay, please go ahead.
Introduce myself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my name is Kwesi Evans. I'm an ML AI research assistant at the HCI lab, and I'll be taking you on the mentorship journey for AI and language technologies, which includes CSR, TTS, NLP, ML, and basically everything that encompasses AI. Yeah, so I'll make sure you develop products that are in contest with the competition and also are inclusive and more like encompasses the theme of the hackathon. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kwesi. Then we have the accessibility and personalization category. The mentors that will be taking us through inclusive design, assistive tech, accessibility testing, and personalization. And we have Professor Augustina Naomi. She's unable to join us today, but you would meet her sometime next week. And then we also have Mr. Timothy Owusu. Mr. Owusu, please, are you here now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, great. My name is Timothy Owusu. I'm a private AI researcher and the CTO of Lang Exchange AI Labs. And we will be taking you through the accessibility and personalization. We will try to remove most of the, structural barriers and limitations that, we have when we think of accessibility and personalization. We would think about, neurodiversions or disabilities and how to customize communication formats. So it makes it easier for people with disability to also be able to access technology. So we would cover what we will be able to cover because it's a big space. So just be open-minded and prepare to ask a lot of questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wusu. Then we have FinTech and Digital Services. They'll be taking us through APIs, digital payments platforms, financial inclusion. We are also expecting some mentors from MTN, but for now, we have Mr. Joshua Kwabla. Mr. Joshua, please, are you on the call? Okay, I think he's yet to join us. Then we have, last but not the least, business in software engineering and impact. Again, we're also expecting one more mentor from MTN, but for now, we have Mr. Benjamin Ahin on the call, I hope. Mr. Ahin, please, are you on this call?
Yeah, hello. You can
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, my name is Benjamin Ainakwa, a software engineer at One Africa Market. And for this mentorship, we'll be going through, a few things about like business and engineering, actually like building a product from ideation to, like making money. So we'll go through several things like product discovery, customer and market validation. What exactly are we building, like the solution and the product design, and how to actually engineer like an actual product that can make revenue, make more money. Yeah, so these are some of the things we're going through, and I'm looking forward to engaging with everyone.
All right, thank you very much. Mentors, I don't know about the teams, but you can already see that this is a full package. At the end of the day, whether you make it to the top 5 or not, we are exposing you to all of these categories so that you have hands-on experience on all that these categories entail. Now we have some good news for us. Earlier on, we had mentioned that, or rather, before I share the good news, now this hackathon is organized by the Human Computer Interaction Lab. It is a research unit in the Department of Computer Science, University of Ghana. And as you heard from Professor Riafe earlier on, he's the research lead in the lab. Our mission is simple. We aim to design and develop technologies that are culturally relevant, specifically for low resource environments. So it should be no surprise why we are organizing a hackathon of this nature. Now, what is this hackathon really about? I know we had said this, yes, we had touched on this in our first awareness campaign session, but we now have new themes. So please permit me to tell you more about the hackathon. So this hackathon mainly challenges teams to design and develop inclusive digital solutions that support communication in Ghanaian languages. Most importantly, all solutions must be accessible. So the challenge this year goes beyond building an impressive prototype. You should, as teams, identify real life problems within the Ghanaian context. You should understand the people who are affected by this problem and then develop a solution that can be tested, refined, and then potentially deployed after the competition. I think I have. All right. So what this means is that we are not looking for wireframes. We're looking for solutions that can be adopted as soon as possible. So most specifically, as I mentioned earlier, you're supposed to address a clearly defined communication, accessible, or inclusion challenge in Ghana. You're supposed to design with the users for the problem you have identified. You're supposed to design for that user group. So show how persons in that target community would be informed by the solution. Your solution is also supposed to use local context. So you should show support for Ghanaian languages, our cultural realities, and our local infrastructural constraints. Fourthly, you should consider privacy, safety, fairness, consent, and accessibility from the beginning. This should not be afterthoughts after you have finished developing your solution. These are all things that you should already at this point start conceptualizing or start thinking of. And as I mentioned, we are looking for solutions that are ready for the market. So demonstrate why people would trust, use, and continue using your solution. Then you're also supposed to create or develop a pathway towards deployment, incubation, or towards making your solution a digital public good. For last year's edition, we focused specifically on automatic speech recognition. And we also had a target population. We focused on individuals with speech impairments. This year's edition, you are not limited.
In 1998, John LeCun put out evolutional neural networks.
For this year's edition, you are not limited to any to only automatic speech recognition. You can use AI, machine learning, LLMs. Again, automatic speech recognition is not left out. Text to speech, NLP, computer vision, SLR, character recognition, robotics, Internet of Things, Internet of AI things, cloud computing, edge AI. The choice is yours to make, but your solution, at the end of the day, the technology you have chosen should align with the problem and it should be able to serve the community. So there are these are some examples of solutions, so I can skip this. All right. Now, I mentioned that we have good news for us. The good news is this. We have gone through all of the submissions, all of the abstracts you submitted, and we noticed a fundamental flaw. Perhaps that is a fault on our part that we did not provide you with a template. And so please we have chosen to use this opportunity to provide you with a template that would guide your next pitch. But ultimately, you should be able to choose a specific group and understand the barriers they face. So identify your user group. Who are you designing for? Then you should be able to define the problem, state the problem in a clear sentence, and explain why existing solutions are inadequate for that problem. Thirdly, you would need to speak with potential users of your system. Decide how your solution will support the different abilities, the different literacy levels, the different types of devices that your users may or may not have, and again, language. You're also supposed to develop the smallest functional prototype that demonstrates the core value of the solution. Observe, test again and improve your solution. So observe users interacting with prototype and respond to problems that they encounter, and then you should plan for sustainability. Explain how you maintain or how your solution can be maintained, funded, and adopted. So ultimately, you're not supposed to start with the technology. You're supposed to start with a real problem, by identifying a problem, starts with a person. What barriers do they face? What do they actually need? And then you select the technology that can solve that problem effectively. For your abstract templates, we have broken it down into 6 main points. Firstly, state the title, then the target user group, and then the target Ghanaian language. Then you go ahead to state the problem and the relevance of that problem. So here you're expected to clearly describe the specific communication, accessibility, disability, or inclusion problem that your project addresses. Identify who experiences a problem and provide relevant evidence that demonstrates why that problem is important. Then you give us a high-level overview of the solution you are proposing. Explain what the solution will do, how it will work, and how it addresses the identified problem. Then you move on to state the main technology or technologies that you plan to use. You're also expected to explain why that technology or how that technology is appropriate for the problem and the solution you intend to build. Describe what you expect, describe what you realistically, that is really bold. I should have made it bold in the slide. Realistically expect to develop. Do not build castles in the air. Describe what you realistically expect to develop. So your response should show that your proposed approach is technically achievable within the hackathon period. Fifth, you should explain how the solution will be accessible to the intended users, people with disabilities or people with low digital literacy. And then last but not the least, describe how your solution could later scale to other Ghanaian languages or perhaps to even other languages beyond Ghana. Explain why users would find your solution useful and what would make your solution worth continuous use. This is the screening criterion. We'll make this the recording for today's session available so you can go through this at your convenience. Now we move on to timelines. We have 3 main phases for the hackathon. We have the pre-hackathon phase, which will be completely virtual. And that has been running from last month and it will end October 23rd. All activities within this period of time will be virtual. And this would include the online bootcamp, which we're currently having. It would include about 3 phases of screening. It will also include ideation sprints with mentor reviews. Now, we currently have about 135 teams who have registered to compete. However, we will, at the end of the day, have only 5 teams that will be selected or that will make it to the next phase, which is the hackathon phase. That means that the pre-hackathon phase has 3 phases of screening. The good news I want to share with us is this. Initially, we had notified you that you would have up till Wednesday midnight to submit your revised abstracts. The good news now is that you have more time. You have up to 31st of August to submit your revised abstracts. And this is why we are doing that. We want everyone to experience or to attend all the mentorship sessions. We have about 6 categories. We want everyone who has registered to participate. so that at the end of the day, you would at least have a relevant take home from just registering for the hackathon. At the first phase of the screening, after you submit your revised abstracts, we will select the top 50. The acceptance rate is really low. So that means you need to tighten your seatbelts when you're submitting your revised abstracts. Out of the 135 teams, at the first stage of the screening, after you've submitted your revised abstract, we will select the top 50. The top 50 teams will then move on to the next phase, which is the ideation sprint with mentor reviews. At the end of that phase, the 50 teams will do a presentation, an online presentation with the mentors. They will be scored based on a predefined evaluation criteria. And after that phase, we would select the top 25 teams. The top 25 teams will go through another round of mentor reviews and a presentation. Then we will select the top 5 teams. The top 5 teams are those who will then make it to the second phase of the hackathon, which would now be an in-person session. That session would run from October 26th to October 30th of this year. That's 1 week. The teams to be expected will camp them here at the University of Ghana. They'll be expected to arrive on the 25th, and then we'll have 4 days of in-person hackathon, and then we'll have the grand finale, which is on the 30th. The winning on the 30th, that's when the 5 teams will present their solution to a wider audience. They will be judged, and then we'll have a winner. The winner will move on to the post-hackathon phase, where they would use that period to polish their products and make it ready. Now, after today, what are the next steps? From Monday, the 24th, to Saturday, the 29th of August, we'll have the mentorship sessions. As I mentioned, this will be online. We have 2 sessions running in a day, the morning and the evening session. And the sessions or the days have been scheduled for each mentorship category. So we start off Monday with the business, software engineering, and impact category. We'll have the morning session and the evening session. Same thing would apply for Tuesday, computer vision, Wednesday, accessibility services, Friday, AI and language technologies, Saturday, UX and UI. While we would be having 2 sessions per day, the sessions will not be delivering the same outcome. Each session has a unique learning goal or a learning outcome that the mentors would seek to achieve. So we encourage each and every one of you to join the sessions. If you cannot, perhaps because of school, exams, what have you, we will try as much as possible to make these materials available online. Of course, we already know the prices, so I don't need to do that. I don't need to take you through that already. And as I mentioned, we'll try to make all of the materials available to you online. So we advise that you always put an eye on the Hackathon website. If you have any inquiries or concerns, please direct your emails or your questions to the email on the screen. And then we'd also advise that in order to get real-time updates on what's going on regarding the hackathon, you could also follow us on our social media pages. We try as much as possible to keep that updated daily. So whichever channel you choose to use, the choice is yours to make. Now I think I can stop talking and then leave the room for questions and comments. So please, if you have any question, kindly raise your hand and I'll grant you audience. All right, Revik. Please pardon me if I have murdered your name while pronouncing it.
Maybe because we are also standing in the light, so we can't really see the reflection.
That's fine.
Revik, please go ahead. Or Rivik. If you're not ready, Ella, please go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to ask if we wanted to make any changes to the application, if that's possible for us to do.
Yes, as I mentioned, we have now given you an extended period to submit your revised abstracts using the template provided. But please do not make any submissions now. We will provide you with the submission link when the date is due. Right? Don't submit to the registration link. Don't submit using the registration link. Of course, that is already closed, so you can't submit there anymore. We'll provide you with a new link for your resubmission using the templates we have provided. Is that clear, Ella?
I wanted to know, like, you see, for example, if you actually pick maybe 4 people to be in your team and you wanted to increase the number or add more people, like something like that, not necessarily about the abstracts.
You can do that. You're not supposed to have more than 5 and you're not supposed to have less than 3.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, Yusuf.
All right, good afternoon. I wanted to ask, see, last year during the hackathon, we're giving, based on, because we're working on speech impairment, so we're giving some resources on that. Yeah, so I wanted to know this time, as it is broad, because we have computer vision and robotics and other things. Are we going to be provided with resources based on maybe the project you want to work on?
You would need to be more specific as to what you mean by resources. Now, I could only try to infer that perhaps you need data, or are you referring to models?
Yes.
Yes, to which one? Data sets or to models?
So models, yeah, if you look at last year's one, you give us models to work on. So
okay. All right. Now,
yeah,
as I mentioned, this year's edition is very much different from last year's. You can even tell that already from the prize award for the top prize, right? So please look for, we have a lot of open source models now. So please go ahead, and we do not want to limit you to what we currently have in the HCI lab. So please go ahead and adapt whichever one suits your tax. But for data sets that we currently have as open access, of course, they are already open access. You can find all of our data sets online. We have data sets for automatic speech recognition, for Akan, Ewe, Dagbani, Dagari, and Iposo. You can find that online. We have a domain-specific data set for machine translation. In Akan, it's a parallel English to Akan data set. You can also find that online. You could simply search with Prof's name, Isaac Riafe, or search with Akan or Ghanaian languages. You would find it online. to also make it easier, I could ask Payne, could you please drop the links to the data set in case anyone is interested in playing around with it?
Yes, please.
All right. So you see, have I answered your question?
Yes, yes. Thank you very
All
much.
right. You're welcome. All right. Then we have Babaka Leyi. Baba. And please, I would advise to make it easier for some of us to pronounce your names. We advise that moving forward. Have I been disconnected? Oh.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, sorry, I lost connection for a while. Babaka.
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
Okay.
so my name is Babaka Lai.
Lai.
And
Okay.
yeah, so that is my actual name though. But I was asking a question concerning the hackathon communication channels. Are we going to have like a group chat or something sort of where, should in case you have any questions to refer to or something?
Okay, as I mentioned, direct all your questions to the email on the screen.
Okay.
dcshcilab@ug.edu.gh. Because we are looking at about 135 teams, which will be screened. Each team is having about 3 members. We do not want to start creating a WhatsApp group now. We'll only create a WhatsApp group when we get to the finals. So for now, direct all your questions to the email on the screen. Carl.
Hello, please. Am I audible?
Yes, please, you're audible.
Hello. Thank you for.
You're audible.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, so I was hearing that we should have at least one disabled person on our team. I don't know how to. That is, I wanted clarity on that.
It is not a strict requirement. Abdul. Abdul, are you there?
Yes, please. Good morning.
Okay.
Please, can you
Good
hear
morning.
me?
Yes.
All right. Please, my name is Abdul. I want to know, but I'm sorry if I missed that part. Maybe you've talked about it. I wanted to know, where are we been expecting to get the templates? Today or tomorrow?
When are you expected to get the templates, or when I expected to submit? That was
No,
not clear.
when are we expecting to receive the templates that we will fill?
Well, I'll drop the link to the template in the chat. But as I said, we would not be expecting any submissions until things 29. That would be communicated to us.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And
welcome.
Please, a second question. Please, if we have only 3 members in our team, can we add to 5 then? Like for the submission, because when we were submitting, we were 3.
If you have what?
I mean, if we have more members, because when we were submitting, we had only 3 members. So if we want to go up to 5 now, can we add more team members?
Yes, you can do that when you're submitting your revised abstract.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Carl. And then please, moving forward, I would suggest that you add your team name to your name in brackets so that it's easy for me to call you. Yes, Carl, the floor is yours.
Oh, sorry. I think previously when I had my hand up, I forgot.
Okay, all right. David.
Hello, my name is
Hi.
David.
Okay.
I'm an SHS student. So I wanted to know whether there will be issues if a secondary year student participates or it's permitted.
There are no issues as long as it does not interfere with your primary assignments as a student. So if your school permits you,
Okay.
if your
Okay.
school schedule allows you to participate, by all means, please feel free. That is actually not an exclusion criteria for us.
Okay. But what about the disability? We struggled getting members, or I struggled getting people from my school with disability, but most of them had visual impairment.
Well, if you are,
So I
if your
wonder whether visual
solution,
impairment can be.
yes, visual impairment is a form of disability. So if your solution or if the problem you have identified has to do with persons living with visual impairment, then yes, visual impairment is a disability.
Thank you very much. Thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Okay. All right. Dorinda.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Please, I wanted to know what happens when two or more teams have the same or similar ideas.
You may have similar ideas. Perhaps you could, I'm not sure you mean similar ideas. You can identify the same problem, but your approach would most likely not be the same.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Frederick Kweku.
Hello, good more afternoon. I'm Frederick and I'm a student of the University of Ghana, offering computer science. My question is based on the resources. You made mention that you provide data sets, but there are also other resources. So you said you can do things based on cloud computing, can do things based on robotics and stuff. All of those things like currently are not like free. It's hard to get like free versions unless like you have like free plans or vouchers or something. Would if we
No,
are
please.
supposed to build something that is working right and effectively, would we be sponsored or will need to use our own money to foot the bill for the solution to work for the competition?
This is a competition. Okay? This is a competition. So get what you need to get to the top.
Okay.
At the end of the day, when you win the prize, you would not be sharing it with us. So why should we invest in that?
Okay.
Yes, most of these things are not open source, but there are lots of resources that are now openly available. So please leverage on that. In a hackathon I'm currently mentoring, a team member walked up to me that they need to, they're building games, so they need subscription for a certain Google Gemini package. And I asked why we have to provide that. If that is what you need to make your solution ready, then by all means, go ahead and get it. Because at the end of the day, you will not come up and tell us, well, I could not do it because I did not have this. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right. All right, Justice.
Please, good afternoon. Please, am I
Good
audible?
afternoon. Yes, please.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Justice from the University of Cape Coast.
Okay.
First, I would like to commend the team for the structure that you've put in place and also the walkthrough. I think it's a brilliant program that we are coming on board to compete. Um, please,
Thank you.
given the proposed sessions with the mentors and also the various aspect that they will be taking us through during the mentorship sessions, I think it's
Yep.
going to influence our um, earlier submitted proposals, right? That is the
Yes.
idea that we intend on building that we
Yes.
submitted in the application. So I wanted to find out that is it possible that we change ideas along the line
Of course,
and
that
then
is
we submit
why
it
we
during the
have
final
given you,
abstract?
yes, of course, that is why we have given you that grace period. Initially, we had said that you have to submit your revised abstracts by midnight tomorrow, Wednesday. Now we are saying attend all the mentorship sessions for the 6 days, and after that, submit your revised abstracts.
All right, please, that's perfectly fine. And when Ella asked the question, you said something that I didn't quite get. So you said you are not supposed to be less than three and not more than five. I didn't get what you were talking about.
You should have a minimum of 3 members in your team and a maximum of 5 members. You can't have more than 5 members in your team, and you cannot have less than 3 members in your team.
All right, please. Thank you very much, Doc.
You're welcome. Humphrey.
Oh, sorry, I should have put my hand down. I think Justice. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think you answered. It was Justice asked my question. Like, I wanted to know if you can do a full pivot, like of your idea, and I think you said
Okay.
you can. Yeah.
Sure. All right, Eli. Eli Sabatani. Is that the Eli? Please go ahead. Or it's Elia.
Yeah, hello, this is Elia. Sorry.
Oh, it's
So my
Elia. Okay.
yes, please. Yeah. So my question was, if I'm getting the flow of it correctly, we are supposed to sort of build our solution with the users they're intended for. So what happens if you can't get like your target users to sort of test out your app for you? And you do
My
instead
brother,
of
if you ask me, who I ask, you're designing for a particular group of people. I mean, how do you design without even identifying at least one person in that user group? Then how would you know your user requirements? And that means you're designing something as abstract. You've not put the needs and the preferences of your users into consideration. You just design something and then you expect that they would accept it at the end of the day.
so we intended to do research on the user groups and get feedback from online, like an online community of said users. Because getting people with that impairment has been quite difficult even till now. We are still looking, but in case we don't get that, that was how we intended to go about it. So I was asking if it's a necessity to have like an actual user, or you can do research and get feedback from online communities.
If you're doing research, you're still communicating with people. So that is fine. They don't have to be physically present with you. You can do a survey. Perhaps that is what you mean by research or contacting people online. Is that what you mean?
Yes, please.
You can do a survey, and by doing a survey, you're still interacting with your prospective user group.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Kobe, you're welcome. All right, Kobe, let's quickly hear yours. This was supposed to last an hour. Kobe? I can't hear you, please. Okay, we have a mentor raise his hand. Mr. Olutuashe, could you please unmute and speak?
Hi, thanks. Can I don't know if this is appropriate, so I wanted to ask first. Is it possible to add to your response to the last question the person asked? So I don't know if you can hear me.
Your
Hello?
line is breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I said I was asking if it's okay to add to your response to the last person who asked about user
Yes,
groups.
please.
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
No, I just going to challenge the person further to say if you're building something and you're saying you're struggling to find the user group, then are there users that need the thing that you're building in the first place? Because if you cannot find them, then why are you building it in the first place? So, I don't know if you heard me, but that's what I wanted to add.
Yes, loud and clear.
I assume you've
Absolutely.
already identified a need as the hackathon requires. If you have identified a need, you've identified people that have that need. So if you're saying you're struggling to find the people, yeah, I guess you should think about that a bit more. That's all I wanted to say, to challenge you to do more.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that input. Okay, Baka, your hand is up again. Is that your old?
Yeah, yes, please. I just wanted to ask about the fintech part. Are we going to get live production sandbox from MTN, or we can use any providers to build the financial inclusion?
I can't answer that for now.
Okay, so that means that we can use another provider to stimulate and be able to confirm our abstracts and other things.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that would lead to some form of conflict of interest. So we will need to check with the funder.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, Michelle.
Hello, yes. So my question is, it's about the user group being part of the team members. The previous meeting we had, I couldn't listen to everything. I couldn't join earlier, but my teammates made mention that we were required to have at least one member from the user group as part of our team members. So I wanted to know if it still holds.
I think I've already answered that. I said it is not a strict requirement. If you can have a person living with a disability join your group, that is fine. It is not a strict requirement. The reason why we advise you do that is because we are promoting participatory design. Having the person within your group would give you first-hand knowledge, lived experience, right? But ultimately, it is a competition. So don't just pick someone and add the person to your group when the person would really not contribute to the progress of your work.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. All right, Yidana. Victor.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right.
So I just wanted to ask, like, when will we get our hands on the templates that you made mention of? And then also, my group registered before we're able to find a special needs student. So right now, how do we add the special needs student? Since we've already
As I
submitted
mentioned,
registration.
you have, hold on, as I mentioned, you have another chance to submit, to do your submission. So you can add or remove anyone you want to.
Oh, okay.
Regarding the templates, it will be made available to you.
All right. Thank you
Okay?
very much. All right, sure.
All right. You're welcome. Recordings from this session and the slides will be made available to all of us. As I mentioned, you could, an easy way to do this would be, say, 3 to 4 hours after this meeting, go to our YouTube channel, we will upload it there. You could also check our website, you see the link to this session, and then you can rewatch and all of that. Okay, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, so good afternoon. Actually, so the thing was during the presentation, the specific ideation process, the simple ideation process, the one you said it was written that you choose a specific group of people, then you study them and give out the solution. But then let's say if your idea actually cuts across multiple groups of people, would it be a problem?
It is not a problem if you can design for all.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. That's your choice to make. Okay. All right. We have Naomi. After Naomi, I'll quickly go to the chats and then we can wrap up for the day. Naomi.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My question is, I think
You're welcome.
Documents. I saw it somewhere that if you don't have a physically challenged person as part of the team, you'll be provided with one. So I wanted to confirm that.
No, please. We had addressed that earlier on.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
We do not have a pool of persons living with disabilities somewhere. We do not.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yep. And the reason why we have actually discontinued going that pathway is so that at the end of the day, you don't tell us the person you gave to us was of no use to us, the person did not contribute to the group and all of that. So please find your team members.
All right.
All right, so I'll now move on to the chats, and then after that, we can wrap up. Links to the data sets have been provided in the chat, so you can check that out. Does anyone hear what you're saying? Yes, please, I can hear. Would we get the recording? Yes, as I mentioned, you would get the recording. Check our website and you find the link to it, say 4 hours after now. Please, I have a request. Can the host in charge of the meeting put the subtitles if there is? Because some students here are hard of hearing. I apologize. I'm just saying this. I mean, we're talking inclusivity. I should have put on the subtitle. I apologize. We will do that moving forward. Okay, all right. After the meeting, can we get a PDF file? Yes. Is it mandatory that all team members are from Ghana? No. hi, please, the link, I can't join, register before we found a special need. So how do we add that? You can do that when you're doing your next submission. If you want to add, do you have to register? You've already registered. So my team are trying to join the meeting. Okay. Please, when is the new deadline? 31st of August is the new deadline. Please, is there a WhatsApp group? No, for now. Please, is a person with special needs on our team a necessity? No. There is no link to WhatsApp. Okay, some people had already answered for me. Thank you very much. Any data sets on Tree that has been made available, please? How do we get access to the next link for the meeting? Would send that via email. They said, okay. Are we expected to have our prototypes ready before the first elimination round? No, please. What if you don't have any team member, but it's just you? No, sir. Minimum of 3, maximum of 5. Okay, so I have responded to all of the chats, and I think some of us had already assisted in responding. Thank you very much. So please, I think we have come to the end of the session. Many thanks to all our mentors for sitting in throughout this session. We appreciate you for your time and efforts. So as mentioned, we will kick off the mentorship sessions on Monday, beginning with software engineering. Yep. We will share the link for each session via your emails. Okay. So I thank you all very much for joining, and we wish you a wonderful time with us. Of course, it's a competition, so not everybody will make it to the end, but regardless, thank you very much for joining, and we'll keep in touch. Bye-bye.